Hello, everybody. It's Poe again. What's up? What's up? I'm on here again to share my story again about with narcissism. Um, I guess I'm gonna do this new thing where I guess I won't say necessarily what I'll do, but I'm doing this new thing where, every time I feel like bothered by what I went through, then I will post a video, or if a thought pops up in my head, I'll just start posting videos. And yeah, I just start posting videos when I start going on these nature walks, because I like I said, this is just stuff that I do. But if I ever have a thought that pops up in my head to talk about narcissism or what I went through, or just to speak freely about anything, it doesn't necessarily have to be about a specific topic, but it really could just be about anything. Just start speaking freely. And by the way, I apologize for all the coughing and spitting I've been doing. I have seasonal allergies, so I get a lot of buildup of mucus, and also because of poor diet. Poor diet leads to mucus. Oh, but I was gonna say something though. So, a thought just popped up in my head pertaining to empaths that I felt like I needed to share. Basically, empaths, I believe, are very wise and creative people. And when they are in an environment filled with toxic people, a lot of times their skills are put on hold or sabotaged. An example, I don't know if y'all know who Wale is, or if you listen to him, but I like him. He's one of my favorite rappers. I would consider him a poet, but to each his own. But in one of his songs, he was talking about how when he grew up, he would struggle in school a lot. I can relate to that, but I'm gonna get into that in a second. He was struggling in school a lot, and I guess the school systems and the doctors diagnosed him to be autistic. Or they were saying, like, I don't really remember like the details in which what he said, but I don't want to, so don't quote me completely. But basically, he was saying that the teachers and the doctors were saying that he was either autistic or he was on the spectrum. So, they were basically, they put him in special ed classes. And I guess from then on, the rest is history. But he was saying in his songs how he used to struggle in school a lot. Like, it was very hard for him to learn. And the doctors and the teachers and maybe even his mom, were kind of telling him that, he had autism. And look at him now. And I'm not saying that any of the people around him were that way, but it's a possibility, because look at how talented he is. He doesn't look autistic to me, even if he's on the spectrum. Like, you see how talented he is? Like, he didn't, he's very intelligent. More intelligent than a lot of these candy rappers out here. And I'm not trying to be rude, but the reality is, like, Wale is very intelligent. And they told him that he has special needs, and they put him in special ed classes. And I'm gonna be honest, with someone with his caliber of intelligence, I bet those classes were holding him back. The diagnosis that the doctors put on him and the teachers put on him were holding him back. And I'm sure his mother, his mom, ain't what any mother would do. Take the professional's advice, of course. Because she's probably looking out for what's best for him, not knowing that the doctors and the teachers could be the ones manipulating him. Anything could happen, but that's just an example, because I can testify to that. I grew up in school, and I struggled in school too, just like Wale. I'm not comparing myself to him, because I'm nowhere near his talent, but I'm just saying, like, I used to struggle in school just like him. And the teachers, my family members, the doctors were saying that, well, not really so much the doctors. So when I went to go see a doctor, the doctor said I was fine. And everywhere, they said I was healthy, that I was mentally stable. They said that there was nothing wrong with me. But my family and my teachers kept telling me, well, not even all my teachers, honestly. It was really just my family members that were telling me that the doctors used to tell me that I may have autism and that, stuff like that. And my sister's dad used to tell me that the doctors thought I was slow. Like that was what he said out of his mouth. He said the doctors thought you were slow because when you were 4, you wouldn't talk. And then, of course, because of that, I couldn't go to school right away. And, I had to wait until I was until I was older to go to school. Therefore, me graduating at the age of, 18. Now, some people graduate at 18. Some people say that's the normal age. But I know people who graduated when they were 17. Like, they were born in 1995. I was born in 1994, and they're in the same grade as me. How is that possible? And then there's somebody that's like a whole year younger than me, born the exact same day as me, September 9th, 1995. And he's in the same grade as me, and I just knew something wasn't right. So, yeah. But just an example of narcissistic abuse is when they see that you're very creative and talented, and they try to make it seem like you have autism or that there's something mentally wrong with you. They'll try to play you like you can't think for yourself. They'll try to make you doubt and question your critical thinking skills and your common sense. That's a lot of times what narcissists will attack, especially when they're dealing with somebody that is an empath. When they realize that you're an empath, most of the time it's your parents that do that. Now, I'm not, with Wale as an example, I don't know what he's been through. I don't know him personally. But I can relate to his experience. And the reason why I mentioned him was because he's somebody that's famous that I guess people can resonate with if I mention him versus if I just say it's me, Famous people go through narcissistic abuse too. Now, I don't know who's who, but I can only imagine that Wale had somebody that was a narcissist in his corner if they were telling him that he had autism and he didn't. So, narcissists will lie on you. But yeah, I had, when I was younger, I had went through a lot of things. I don't really exactly remember everything that I went through around that age, but I do remember a lot. But, yeah, that's just an example though, is that a narcissist will try to play you and make it seem like you can't think for yourself and that your critical thinking skills are shoddy. They'll try to play you and make it seem like you're dumb or that you can't depend on yourself. I don't know where I was going. The thought just popped up in my head. But also well, I'm going to also talk about the near-death experiences that I faced because the narcissist was mentally unstable and sinister. So let me talk about the near-death experiences that I faced. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but realistically, if you're dealing with a narcissist, you might face this when you try to leave. So I almost got ran over completely by a car multiple times, which I'm gonna guess was either a toxic supply or a flying monkey. Gas leaks in my house where I live. Someone breaking into my house while I was sleeping. Someone poisoning. One time, I got poisoned. My food was poisoned. I ate at work, and my food got poisoned, and I had to go to the hospital. What else? I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I can think of right now. I can't think of anything else that was a near-death. I feel like another near-death experience was really more specifically like when I was riding in the car. because the gang stalking tactics are the same. They're the same. Narcissists use the same tactics. But when I was in my car, when I had a car, there was people driving up really close behind me. There would be people that wouldn't let me over. They would drive really closely to me, or they would drive in front of me, but they would drive really fast and then they would slow down suddenly, just like weird things. And I don't really have proof of that, but I can really only tell my story. But I did face a lot of near-death experiences, too many for it to be normal. And I can admit that at times I can make mistakes, I can be clumsy, but not that clumsy. But anyway, so yeah, the near-death experiences that I faced. Basically, while I was in the house and sleeping, the narcissist broke into my house and there was a gas leak. I could smell the chemicals in the air, and I had to get out. I had to get out of the house for a while, for a couple hours. And sometimes for a couple of days, and go somewhere else. But there's no telling what the narcissist is going to be capable of. Oh, okay, and another thing that I want to mention as well when dealing with near-death experiences, because I remember in a previous video I talked about what I went through in 2015. What I went through in 2015 was I got robbed. Now, I could have died. I consider that a near-death experience as well. But I got jumped by like 6-7 different dudes. And, there's no telling what they could have done. They could have shot and killed me. They could have did anything, really. Raped me. They could have did anything. So I definitely count that as a near-death experience, for sure. Because there's no telling what it took 7. Why does it take 7 guys to just take my purse and my phone? Because that's all they really took, which lets me know that a narcissist, probably a family member, sent one of them to rob me. And it happened on the same day that my friend got killed, which, like I said, a narcissist probably sent somebody to kill my friend. Now let me go over the brief minor details of the other video that pretty much breaks down the event that took place July 9th, 2015. Because I have the information, I have the proof that it happened, I have the information, the police report, and everything. And I also have text messages that I've texted one of the narcissists that I was associated with at one point as proof that they had something to do with my robbery. But I'm not going to get into that right now, because I'm cracking down on these narcs. But anyway, so let me do a brief summary of or brief recap of the event of July 9th, 2015. Now, my friend, I'm gonna just give you his name. He's passed away. He's deceased, and his information is actually on Chicago Tribune. So if you ever want to look into the case, if you're like a justice investigator type person, then look into it. See what you can find. If you can find the killer, let me know. But basically, July 9th, 2015, my friend, he's not my blood relative, but he's brother by spirit. He was chilling with his friends, playing basketball. Now, he was skipping school, hanging out a little longer than he should, participating in certain activities that's a little bit not necessarily appropriate for a 17-year-old, but I'm not judging. But basically, he was skipping school and staying out late outside. And next thing you know, him and his best friend are going to the gas station. And they notice that somebody's following them. And, I guess they kind of just move on because, maybe the person that was following them was just really trying to get their attention to ask them something, or, it could have been anything. Maybe they, Whatever. I'm just going off of what I've been told. And the Chicago Tribune report. But anyway, so him and his friend were followed that night. And then when they finished getting their snacks and juices and stuff from the convenience store, they're about to go home. And you know, my friend, his name is Kimythe, by the way. Kimythe and his friend were like, well, we noticed that somebody's following us. Let's go our separate ways. You go that way, I'm gonna go this way. And they were like, let's split up. And so the person that was following them followed Kimythe down the street. When he noticed that they were chasing him down, he started running because he was scared, which I understand, because in Chicago, you got somebody following you and then next thing you know, they chasing you down. You already know what that is. So I know, because I was born in Chicago, so I know how that type of stuff is. I don't blame him for running. He knew what it was, and his friend knew what it was. But they decided to chase Kimythe down the street. And when they chased him down the street, he crossed the corner and went behind the church. They followed him behind the church. Like I said, the details on how they were chasing him and, when they shot him and, all that is just, the Chicago Tribune details are very sloppy, which lets me know that the police are probably in on it. But aside from that point, I'm gonna make another video and I'm gonna read the Chicago Tribune report so that y'all can tell me if any of it makes sense. And then, like I said, I'm gonna retell you guys the testimony, what my family's claim happened. So I asked because I'm about to start really, honestly, being more specific about the people that I'm talking about, because I'm tired of their bullshit. I almost died and somebody else died. Like other people in my family have died because of the narcissism that's in my family, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. So I'm about to start I'm not about to name drop right now. I'll name drop if I feel like it, but I'm about to start being more specific about who did what and who said what. If I know. If I don't know, I'll find out with time. But if I know, I'll be more specific. Because people really need to know about narcissism, because people are literally dying out here. They're getting killed because of narcissists. It's just that simple. So, my mom said that it was gang related, and that the people who chased him down were chasing him down in a car. When they chased him down, they finally caught up to him. They shot him 3 times in the face. That's what my mom's side of the story was. My sister's side of the story was that they shot him 3 times in the back. And I don't quite remember if my sister said that they chased him on foot or by car. I want to say that my sister said they chased him on foot. But they shot him 3 times in the back. Then when I looked at the Chicago Tribune story, it said that he was chased down, the killer chased him down on foot, and it was just one person. And once they chased him down, they shot him 3 times in the face. Then when I asked his brother-in-law what happened, he said, I don't know what happened. Don't nobody know nothing. And so I'm not pointing fingers at anyone specific, but this is the bullshit that empaths have to put up with in narcissistic families. When somebody ends up dead or sick or hurt or destroyed, don't nobody know nothing, and the truth never seems to be consistent. That's what empaths and good people have to tolerate from narcissists. They can't never just tell the truth. They can't never just, you know what I'm saying, be on one accord. And they can't never just accept somebody living their life. I believe personally that the reason why Kimythe was taken out this world was to send a message, whether it was to me or to the youth, that if you don't do what we say, if you don't comply, we're going to take you out. Because we're getting tired of, looking bad out here. You are not allowed to live your own life and escape my abuse. Whoever did this to him knew what they were doing. Whoever chased him down like that and shot him in the face like that knew what they were doing. So at the end of the day, I don't know what happened, but my family members and his family members' response was not normal. To what happened was not normal. Which leads me to believe that there may have been some family involvement. And the reason why I'm going ham like this is because ain't nobody solved his case. I ain't heard nothing from Chicago Tribune, just another dead body. They buried him before they even solved the case. You know that? Kimythe Hubbard Jr., by the way, that's his name. Because he's a human being, by the way. But a lot of people seem to forget that, especially narcissists. So I'm not going to let the narcissist forget that whoever killed him is going to be held responsible, and I will find out who it was. Anyway, so yeah, he was chased down and shot like a dog, like a rabid dog. And he was a person. He wasn't even an adult yet, and he was chased down like a dog. All because he stayed out too late. And like I said, I'm pretty sure whoever did it, because I don't believe it was gang related. I really don't. That's bullshit. He wasn't even, because I asked his family, okay, well, was he in a gang? No, he was not in a gang. Okay, so I don't understand. If he wasn't in the gang, how was his death a gang related violence? Unless he was being gang stalked. How is that possible? How was his murder gang related if he wasn't in a gang? And if it wasn't gang related, why would somebody just randomly shoot a teenager in the middle of the night? Because honestly, I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of the system's bullshit. I'm tired of my narcissistic family's bullshit. I'm tired of his dysfunctional family's bullshit. I'm saying. I'm opening my mouth and I'm saying something. Because this is ridiculous, bruh. Because a lot of these narcissists are still stalking me. They're still harassing me as if I'm the criminal. So that's why I'm telling all. Because we don't deserve this. So enough with my rant. Let me get back to the story. So like I said, my family's and his family's, I'm gonna say our family's reaction. Our family's, his and mine, were the way that they responded to that, they lacked empathy. And I just found it strange that nobody was trying to find out who did this. Like, that's strange to me. If my son, my daughter, my sister, my brother, my friend turns up dead in a brutal way, and no one's trying to find out anything, no one's hiring a private investigator, nothing. It's just swept under the rug, and he's buried immediately after the death, almost as if it was planned. Like, that's fucked up. Antwione, or his nickname's Twan, that's his middle name, Antwione, Kimythe Antwione Hubbard Jr. But his family called him Twan. That's why I call him Twan. So when I say Twan, just know I'm talking about Kimythe, the young man who got shot and killed at 17 for playing basketball at 10 o'clock at night. Mind you, I believe it was Friday, so it wasn't even a school night. Or it was a school night, but it was the weekend. You know what I'm saying? He's a boy, you know, boys have fun. But whatever, that's besides the point. The point is, because he decided to play basketball, which is so harmless, at night, he's dead now. He won't be able to live out his adult years because somebody felt as if they were God. Somebody thought that they could play God. He's no longer here because somebody thought that they could play God and determine his fate. And like I said, the fact that his and my family members are showing no empathy for him and marketing off of his death is strange. That nobody in the family is trying to find justice, and it feels like I'm the only one that's trying to find justice. And I talked to them too. His mother deleted me as a friend on Facebook. I don't know why. Maybe because my narcissistic mother made me look like the bad guy and made it look like I didn't care. Or maybe she's a narcissist just like my mom. Who knows? But honestly, I'm speaking without a filter because somebody died. And the fact that nobody's trying to solve the murder is a huge red flag. The fact that when I asked, hey, what happened? Nobody seemed to know nothing, and they didn't seem to care to know anything, and it didn't seem like they wanted to know anything. And you know, I may regret saying what I said, but at the end of the day, he died. Like, he was like a brother to me. I want justice for his death. I'm not looking for revenge. I'm not looking to see his killer dead or hurt or murdered. I want to see his killer in handcuffs. I want to see the people who are involved in handcuffs, and I want to see them in prison for the rest of their lives. That's what I want. I want universal karma to come in and do its job. Because at the end of the day, he was still a child. Whether he was in his late teens or not, he was still a child. And the fact that somebody wanted to play God and take him out before it was his time, I didn't forget about you, Twan. I know it's been some years since you've passed away, but I did not forget about you. And I love you like you were my brother. I will never forget about you, and I will find out who did this. I will find out who was involved. I will. And I will. Justice will be served. Because you were my brother in the spirit. You were my brother from another mother. You were my brother. You always will be my brother. But whoever felt like they needed to take you out got another thing coming. And I don't know who was involved in this. I truly don't. I'm not pointing fingers at nobody specifically because I don't know. But I'm not going to sit here and beat around the bush. I'm just like an investigator. I'm just like the FBI in this particular case. I ain't taking nobody's side. And I ain't giving nobody no leeway. And I ain't giving nobody no mercy when it comes to calling out their suspicious behavior. I don't care how close they were to me. Because on that same day that he died, I got robbed by 7 different niggas. It happened the same day. And I could have been dead just like him. So I ain't got no mercy, no love for my narcissistic family members and his narcissistic family members, if that's the case. Now, if I'm wrong, I don't mind that. I want the truth. I don't care if I'm wrong. I want the truth. I demand the truth. And I will get down to the bottom of this. I'm not letting this go. And since the police don't want to do their job, I'm going to do it for them. I'm going to start cracking down on these narcs because too many kids coming up missing, dying, and I think it's something mentally wrong with the society when children can be kidnapped and murdered and nobody bats an eye. Nobody even considers seeking justice. They complain, post, do memes all day, but no one's really actively trying to find justice. And that's not love. If somebody loves me and I get killed, I'm not expecting them to cry, boo-hoo, sad. I mean, yes, but at some point, I'm going to be expecting them to be finding out who my killer is, getting justice. You know what I'm saying? Creating GoFundMe accounts, not just for my funeral, but for my investigation, for a private investigator. If somebody loves me and cares about me, I'm expecting that they're gonna wanna find justice. And the people who sit around, lay around, and cry all day, and they don't invest and put money towards private investigators to find out what happened, I'm going to either assume one or two things about those people. They had something to do with my untimely death, or they never cared about me in the beginning and they're being fake the whole time. I'm getting in. I'm going in on these narcs, bro. I'm not playing no more, because they've destroyed too many people. They ain't destroying no more. Like, I'm so fed up and tired of these fucking narcissists. You know, like I said, I have to deal with them every day. They follow me home. They follow me to potential job opportunities. They follow me to do extracurricular activities. They show up on the bus. They follow me when I'm in a car. Like, I can never get enough of these narcissists. They're everywhere, and they're always watching me, and they're always following me and harassing me. So guess what? Now I have no choice but to expose every last one of them. And it has. I wasn't even going to expose them, but it's become an issue where it's life and death. Dealing with narcissists, it has become an issue of life and death. It is always a life and death issue. Every single time. When you're dealing with those people, it is always life and death. You are always going to be fighting for your life. It's always going to be a spiritual battle for your soul. Always. It's always going to be a spiritual battle for your soul. But let me get back into this case. So, what are my thoughts and opinions about what happened? Because like I said, I don't know nothing. I really don't. Let me make that very clear. I don't know who was involved. I don't know who did what. But if I'm going to go with my opinion on this, I believe he was set up by family members. And the police are in on it. The police have always been since when have the police actually cleaned their hands? When was the last time you seen the police clean their hands? The police are always getting their hands dirty. But when do you ever see them clean their hands? Never. Not even during this pandemic, where some of these police officers could really get hurt. When have you ever seen police officers clean their hands, clean it up, clean up the history, the historical abuse, the pathology of murdering innocent people? When have you seen the police ever clean that up? Even now, given the opportunity, with COVID happening, the police have plenty of opportunities to help people. When was the last time you seen a police officer genuinely help people? I genuinely can't think of any time where I've genuinely seen a police officer help somebody and be known for it. But I can definitely mention on all 10 of my fingers some dirty shit that they got into. And I can specifically count on each finger how many times they've gotten their hands dirty and did the government and the corporate's dirty work. You know? Sweeping murders under the rug. Purposely not investigating certain murders. They getting their hands dirty. But guess what? These empaths out here, we about to start chopping these hands off. And I mean, I'm speaking metaphorically. But you see, the hoovers, the police officers, they hoover, but they don't come up to someone that they know is being abused and say, hey, you know, I see that you're suffering, you know, as somebody that's supposed to protect and serve the community. What can I do to help? I've never in my interactions with dealing with police, have I ever seen a police officer humble themselves to that degree. And when they did, it came at some price. And it's not just the police, but the police are the ones who are getting their hands dirty the most. The veterans as well, they count too. I'm not, oh, trust me, I'm gonna get on the veterans, but it's not their turn right now. The police are getting their ass whooping right now. The veterans, they up next. Oh, I got so much to say about these veterans. I'm not even done yet. I'm not done. Don't get me started on the Holocaust. Do not get me started on World War II. Do not get me started on the Vietnam War. Do not get me started. These veterans ain't off the hook. And they getting their ass whooping surely, but soon. Right now, it's the police officers' turn to get their ass whooped. Right now. And the police, I believe, swept Kimythe's murder under the rug because they didn't want people to know that they were involved. It was a Masonic setup. Kimythe Antwione Hubbard Jr.'s death, I believe, was a Masonic sacrifice. And for me, that was a Masonic betrayal. I honestly think that if they wanted me dead, I would have been. But if I would have had turned up dead, it would have been too suspicious. I believe that was a dog whistle. If I'm just gonna keep it real, I believe Kimythe's death for me was a dog whistle. Meaning that there was a subliminal message that was sent to me that no one else heard but me. And I'm the only one that can really speak out against it. And if I do speak out against it, which that's why I stayed quiet for so long, I thought I was gonna look crazy, bitter, resentful, all that. And at this point, I don't care. Because the narcissists have pushed me way too far. Like, for example, the gas leakages in my house. There was several times I woke up in the middle of the night because I couldn't breathe because there was a gas leakage in my house. But I had no way to prove it or to prove it to the police that this is what was happening. So no, the narcissist pushed me too far. Like I'm done. I'm not saving face. I'm not keeping secrets. I'm telling all, baby. And even if that comes at the risk of my safety's already been at risk. My privacy, my safety, the support that I would have had has already been compromised. My trust has been violated. My boundaries have been violated. And they won't ever stop being violated. The narcissists are gonna keep coming back over and over, so I might as well expose them. What does me keeping quiet have done for me? Except put me in more danger. Like, it's gotten to the point where I've had to record people because their behavior was so strange and dangerous that I felt like I needed to really like record what I was going through, so that I had proof that I wasn't going crazy. I had to record people who were harassing me that would not leave me alone because their behavior was so strange and out of the ordinary that I was questioning my reality. Like, am I really going through this? Why does it keep happening? Why is it so repetitive? Why is it so consistent? Why why are people cracking down on me so hard? Like, I know I ain't perfect. I know I have flaws, and I know I've pissed some people off, but not to this extent. No. I don't deserve this. My sins have not accounted to this. It feels like I'm paying for someone else's sins. And I'm not really making this about me because somebody died, but I'm saying, like, what coincidence could it have been that he's pronounced dead 2 hours before I get robbed? How is that not a coincidence, and how is that not family related? We both rebelled around the same time. I had just moved out of my mom's house around that time. He had just moved out of his mom. At the same time, we moved out of our mom's house because our families were dysfunctional and we couldn't do it anymore. The only difference is he moved in with his biological father. I moved in with some roommates from college and high school. I had support. I had friends. I had supportive friends that helped me get out of that situation. And I won't go into detail, but he had supportive family on his dad's side. And I personally believe that somebody on his maternal side of the family did not like the fact that he was getting away. They did not like the fact that he had his own mind and he was going to do whatever he wanted to do, and that no one could control his life, and that he wasn't going to allow a toxic environment to continue to trap him and bring him down. So he moved, and I'm glad. I applaud him, because I was around, I was there. You know what I'm saying? His family and my family were tight. We were like family. So he's seen my the dysfunction in my family, and I've seen the dysfunction in his, and I know exactly why he moved. I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't act, because I'm standing up for him, and this is what I should have did while he was alive. But I'm not gonna go into detail right now, but I'm taking responsibility now. I saw the dysfunction in his family, and he saw the dysfunction in mine. And the funny thing is, we both got so fed up with it that we both moved around the same time, because we were both fed up with our families, our maternal families. We both moved around the same exact time, and we both got set up the exact same day. The exact same day. So is that a coincidence? I think not. And I should have said something sooner. I should have gathered all my evidence sooner, and I should have kept the police reports too, so I could have double evidence to show y'all, because I want y'all to see this, because the police, we can no longer depend on the police to provide justice for us anymore. They've never been reliable. They will never be reliable, and we're gonna have to do this on our own. You know what I'm saying? When we want justice, we can't, when we want something done and somebody's made it clear that they don't want to or they don't feel like it, why continue to beg that person? Because their true colors will come out when they realize that you don't need them anymore, and that you're gonna get whatever goal accomplished with or without them. How much you wanna bet that when we start solving these murders and investigating these people who turned up missing and dead and stuff without the police, I'm pretty damn sure that the government is gonna show their true colors. The system is gonna start showing you what it really is. Assist, not assisting. I mean assist, CYST, assist. And I'm not gonna go into detail on what assist is, but it's like I guess I would say it's kind of like a parasite filled with like mucus. Like a mucus ball is almost like a parasite. I won't go into detail on that, but it's a cyst. The system is a cyst. Y'all ain't fooling nobody with the changing of the spelling and stuff, changing the S to the, or changing the C to the S. It's still the same thing. A cyst is a cyst. The spelling, using different letters and alphabet, but it's the same word. Y'all ain't slick. Yeah, we decoding that double speak. Yeah, we decoding that, because y'all not gonna abuse us anymore. But anyway, yeah, so me and him moved out around the same time, 2015. I think he moved out slightly before I did, like a couple months before I did. But all in all, it was around the same time, which lets you know that if he and I were so close and we both moved out around the same time, that he and I were probably the healthiest people in the family, and it stood a chance to break the cycle. He had a chance to break the cycle, and he was taken out before he got to do that. So yeah, I'm exposing. I don't care who's watching. I don't care who can hear me. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. Because the narcissists in my life should have left me alone. Now they're about to pay. They made a huge mistake. They messed with the wrong one. And they're gonna pay, I promise. Kimythe, they're gonna pay for what they did to you. I promise. They will be judged. Justice will be served, Kimythe. I promise, bro. Your murder was not forgotten. I did not forget that. And I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't see the suspicious behavior. I'm not gonna pretend, bro, and I got your back. Because they took you out. They didn't give you a chance to defend yourself. You can't speak for yourself. So guess what I'm gonna do, bro? I'm gonna speak up for you. Just continue to guide me, bro, with the Creator, and I got you. Your murder will not be unsolved, bro. I got you. I did not forget about what happened. I did not forget. I know it's been a long time, bro, but I did not forget about what happened to you, bro. Justice will be served, bro. I promise it will be. Even if I gotta be the one to do it all by myself, I will. Even if I gotta hire a private investigator. It's been too long. And the longer I waited, you know, the harder it was to gather evidence. But I will. I'm gonna keep pressing it. I'm gonna keep pressing it and keep pressing it and keep pressing it until somebody gives me answers. Because I believe that there are people out there that care about you, that really want to know what happened. Like your girl, Miss Paris. Now, I don't know her personally. I never met her. But I know your girl cared about you, bro. Like, I care about you, bro. Like, it's people out there that, and maybe some of the family members, even though your family and my family was dysfunctional, there may be some people in your family and my family that really did care about you. Whoever those people are, need to come in the forefront, because it's looking real shaky right now. That ain't nobody saying nothing. Ain't nobody trying to find out the truth and what really happened. And if this video makes, you know, your family look bad, I apologize, but this ain't about them. This is about you, Kimythe. You the one dead. They still alive. This ain't about them. It never was. And the fact that, like I said, ain't nobody trying to find out what happened to you, I feel like what that tells me is that family members are making it about them. Because when it's your birthday, when it's your death anniversary, they cry, they celebrate, they complain. But ain't nobody trying to find out what happened, and no one's trying to bring justice. And that's strange to me. So just know that I ain't forget. I saw the video. I read the police report. I spoke to family members. And what I heard was enough. Bullshit. Either don't nobody know nothing and they ain't trying to know, or somebody knows something and they keeping stuff on a hush-hush. But I ain't gonna let that slide, bro. Because you my brother and I actually love you for real. And I know that I can't just say that, I gotta show it. But I love you for real, bro. And I'm gonna speak up for what happened. Because you don't get that opportunity to speak up. Because you gone now, bro. You in the heavens above, bro. You don't get to defend yourself. That ain't right. So I'm here to speak up for those who can't defend themselves. And you one of them, bro. I got you. Just talk to God up there, God, bro, and help me figure out, you know, who did this, who was involved, and help keep me safe. That's all I'm asking. That's all I need is some assistance and some security and some safety, bro, from you and God. And I'm about to get to work. This is what I've been wanting to do. I've been trying to figure out what happened. I've been trying to figure out what happened with your murder. I've been knew that was strange, but I didn't know where to start. I just thought that maybe I was doing the wrong thing by saying something, because maybe then I was making your family look bad and maybe I was bitter. Nah, I don't think so. And I think in a normal family environment, somebody's gonna want to try to find out what happened. Even if they're not looking for revenge, I think it's strange that no one's looking for justice. So I got that off. That's all I really had to say in pertaining to Kimythe Antwione Hubbard Jr.'s case. And if y'all want to look into it because y'all curious to know, or you know, you feel like you can, you know, see who got away with, like, you know, because you know them situations where it's like how to get away with murder and you got to find out who the murderer is. Yeah, So if y'all curious, as y'all have an investigative mindset, go on Chicago Tribune, look up Kimythe Hubbard Jr., and you'll see his case if you're interested. If you're one of those, oh, I don't support children getting killed and stuff like that, go on Chicago Tribune and look up Kimythe Hubbard Jr. I'm gonna put the information. I'm gonna put the link in the description below. I'm gonna put his name, and then I'm gonna put the link to Chicago Tribune below. And I'm gonna start, you know, giving more and more information on the case and keeping y'all updated. But that's pretty much all I had to say in this video about what I was gonna talk about. All right. This music is like super duper loud. Like super duper loud. Oh, before I exit out this video though, I did want to say, because it was I had made a comment and I was basically saying that I believe Kimythe's death was a dog whistle. Okay, so I don't know if y'all know how Freemasonry goes, but with Freemasons, when they're trying to initiate someone, a lot of times they will abuse them first and put them in a state of confusion. You know, and then they'll do dog whistles, which is abuse. The dog whistles a lot of times are abuse. They're nothing good. It's nothing good out of a dog whistle. But basically, I believe that his death, and I'm not trying to make it about me because it's not about me at all. It's about finding out who did this and who all is involved and why. Because narcissists don't ask those type of questions. That's why they never solve problems and conflict in their life, and why they're always the cause of it. So basically, what I was saying is I believe that his death was a dog whistle. And why do I feel that way? Because I was still alive after that. Not only that, but like I don't know, I can't explain it, but if you look into dog whistles, like if you type in dog whistles and how that connects to Freemasonry, you'll be able to probably find out more information than what I can give you in this video. And when I do more research and stuff like that, I'll be able to give you guys more information on what I'm talking about as far as dog whistles. But I don't have the information readily right now, because a lot of times when I take these nature walks and stuff like that, I don't really have my notes or anything. And then I don't really know how to do those slides. You know how people be doing slides in their videos and stuff and they get really creative? I wasn't necessarily good at projects in school like that. So yeah, I might have to get someone to help me do slides and presentations and PowerPoints and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not really good with stuff like that. But this is why I feel like the nature walks and the free balling and just talking in the video kind of helps me. And you know, when I get